Ja, wir haben noch eine Frage.
Genau, wir haben noch eine Frage in Englisch diesmal. Vielleicht magst du dann auch auf Englisch die
Yeah.
beantworten. Shrey P asks, Concordia is such an elegant game with a simple rule set. When designing expansions, how do you balance creating new and interesting rules, mechanisms, versus maintaining that elegance?
Well, I'm always trying to keep some sort of elegance in my designs. Concordia is a basic system which is quite flexible and quite open for changes, I think. So the main features that you are purchasing cards on your hands, which are your actions, and at the end of the game they are your victory points, combined with the resource management and movement on the map, is a system in a whole which is very flexible and open for changes and additions. I think if I'm working on Concordia and try to make something else, I cannot detract from the base game. So the base game is the clear essence of what is necessary, and there cannot be taken something out without destroying the game. But things can be added, and I'm always almost astonished, how flexible the game system is at the end of the day. So if we ate some forums and salsa and fish market, the game still works.
Yes.
And
yes, that's also something I recognized when I developed the games with you. That you can't destroy Concordia. It's very difficult to do something which wouldn't work at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, of course, some people like more the pureness of the games. Others like more detailed rules. So I think Concordia on the whole has been growing over the years. That there should be something for everyone.
Yeah, great.
Hope I answered your question.
We have another one from the chat, and that was, do you plan on revisiting the antique era of games? Because with Transatlantic you went away. I know that Concordia is still always present, but so are there any plans for new games in the antique setting?
In the Antique?
Yeah.
Not in the Concordia.
Also the game,
yeah.
Antique, and also the era.
The era and the game.
Yeah.
I think Antique as a game has been quite well done. So there's the original Antique, there's Antique 2, and there's Antique Dueling for 2 players. I think on the game as a whole, that should be it. I'm not a full-time game designer. I have to set priorities on what I'm working with. But the era, the historical time of antiquity, I always find fascinating, and Concordia as well is a game set in the age of Roman times. I have to say that I had to learn Latin at school for many years. So I was interested in the history. I have been to the Mediterranean at many places, seen some historical sites and old amphitheaters, and so I find that very, very fascinating. It's also something I like about designing games. I come from theme, so with Transatlantic I wanted to make a game about the steamship 100 years ago, the development of steamships, and did a lot of research on that, and then the game developed from that, and we tried a lot of mechanisms to capture a game of steamships. It's not that I'm starting with a mechanism and then what theme could fit that, but I'm starting with a theme and I'm trying many mechanisms who will fit that theme well. So the historical era of antiquity, maybe there will sometimes come something more. But the game Antiquity itself, I think, has been done for many years. Yeah.
Right. So this was already one of my questions, because I wanted to ask you about the historical backgrounds of your games. And, if this is profession, or have you ever thought about studying, I don't know, history or something like that, or?
Well, as a schoolboy, I liked the history and things like that, and I was still going to school when I started to design my own board games. So in the 70s, I made my first prototypes, print and play, and not print, but paint and play. I didn't have a printer at that time. So what was the exact question?
No, it was just in this historical context.
Yes, in this historical context, and my interest in things started through that, and then during my time at university, I studied economics. I also was visiting classes of risk theory and game theory and things like that.